Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Happy
Joshua,
Tuesday.
happy Tuesday. Joshua, you know what I've been dealing with for the last couple of days?
What?
I have a crazy stalker on Twitter who
Oh
has
no.
actually gotten like progressively more crazy.
Is this the impersonator or is this somebody else?
So here's the thing. I have a question I want to ask you about this because we have talked about my Twitter impersonator before. People might remember we did a show that talked about it a while back. I started getting a Twitter impersonator after my run-ins with Vosh, and so I kind of figured it was his whole crew. But to be honest, the insanity of the stalker that I am now dealing with is just like he replies to everything. He screenshots all of my tweets and he replies to my tweets with screenshots of my tweets taken completely out of context to try to paint me in the worst possible light. And he is crazy. He's crazy. And I'm starting to think, based on the interaction I had with him today, I think he is the one running the imposter account.
Oh.
And so what I wanted to do, and I've got a couple people whose energy I want you to read tonight to give me your psychic analysis. What I want to do, and I promise, guys, we're going to get into the serious stuff with Trump and Biden, and we've already got some super chats coming in, I promise. But what I want you to do is, first off, I want you to tell me about this guy and what you get from him. And then I want you to tell me if he is the person running my imposter Twitter account. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, do you want to give me a name or you want to show me his picture?
I can show you his picture. Hang on, I just need to bring up the correct screen. So this is my Twitter stalker. He goes by Mind of a Casper. As you can see, he's wearing a mask in his profile image. And Joshua, let's just look up the part with like his tweets and replies, because this is me. He's replying to all. This is all replies to me all day, every day, with screenshots of my tweets. Like, this is the creepiest thing that has ever happened. And I really do think this guy is unhinged, but I want to go into his media section because I want to get you a good image of him where you can actually see his face. Because one of the things he does is sometimes he takes his stupid mask off and he makes a video of himself replying, so you can actually see what he looks like. So this is my creepy stalker. What do we think of him?
What do we think of him? He's difficult to read, really. I don't know if that's, let me see if I can put it up in my screen, get a better shot of him. Can you get me another photo?
Yes, I can try to find you a different one. Hang on.
Mind of a Casper?
What about now? Is that better?
Okay, yeah, I think he's young and misguided, that's all. I feel like, can I see you, please?
Oh, you want to see me?
Yes, please. Yeah.
That tells you a lot right there.
So, okay, what I get is there's like this path that, would have been easier for him, and I think that he went on this other path that's just not as comfortable or as easy, and I think that if he, relaxed a little bit, he would be able to find that other path. I just get there being like a path issue, which oftentimes shows up as arthritis, like because the path.
That makes sense. That makes sense, actually, because I made fun of him the other day because he posted a video where his hand was like obviously shaking, and I was like, "You can't even stop your hand from shaking for 5 seconds to film a video." And I feel kind of bad for making fun of him over something like that, but he was like, "I'm on medication," and then he deleted that tweet right quickly. So it wouldn't actually surprise me if there was something going on.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that, when you're putting yourself in the public eye, it is sort of like being like the sacrificial lamb. You know what I mean? Like you're putting yourself out there, and there are going to be people that love to hate you. And I think I don't know. I mean, the idea of you having an imposter, I'm sorry, but I find that so flattering. I mean, when you have an imposter, it's like, okay, like Betty Davis, like when she was like a rising star, the reason why she was so dramatic is because she had said that you only really arrive when the drag queens make fun of you. You know what I mean? So that's why she was so freaking dramatic. But to be impersonated and to be, I mean, it's Twitter. Thank God it's not real stalker stuff. But I don't know. I think it's a feather in your cap, really. And
I'm not so worried about the imposter account anymore. I've kind of stopped paying attention to it. But why I say I think he's my imposter is today. So here's what I've decided to do about this troll issue is I've decided every time he tweets at me with one of these images, I'm going to retweet it and then monetize it by using it to direct people to my locals where there are no trolls.
Okay.
So every tweet he says, I try to make some sort of lesson out of it. I try to teach something or say, in my locals, we do Zoom calls and we talk about issues like X, Y, B, and Z, blah, blah, blah. And I don't respond to him directly. I just make a message out of it.
Yeah. I think that it's always good to turn something like that into a positive because, what you resist persists. So if you got to sort of, bring it on,
Exactly.
You are from mass consumption.
Well, and here's the question I have, the question of the hour. Do you think he's the person running the imposter Twitter account?
No.
Because no, you don't. Hard no. Because I asked that today because today I had an interaction with him where it was like really quick, and he kept replying with tweets from the imposter Twitter account.
And I was like, why?
Tweets and then like doing that.
I mean, my first instinct is no because I think the person in the imposter account, I think that they are. I think that they have the ability to be like humorous. Obviously, a lot of them are not very, very funny, but I don't think this guy has the wherewithal to be that quick, to be honest.
No, you're right about that. He is not funny in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for edifying that whole situation. We will move on from him, but I want to let you know, Joshua, Square Inch says your hair looks very nice.
It's a complete mess. Thank you.
He was very worried about it before we came on air. Okay.
It was like hell.
Yes, there was some whining and complaining and primping and preening that was done off air. All right, but I have one more person whose energy I want you to read, Joshua, and this is actually more important. This is Kyle. Kyle is a senior producer at MSNBC, and Kyle is like one of the most Trump deranged people on the internet. It's really, really sad. And what I want to know is what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Wrong with him?
Yes.
This is terrible. Kyle Griffin.
Kyle Griffin. Are you looking for a better picture?
I want to get. Oh, here we go. No, that's the wrong Kyle Griffin. Kyle. I am. Okay, well, that's why. Okay. Wrong with him? I think. The only thing that I get is that he's not recruiting all of the energy that he could. In the sense that there's more energy. Can I see you, please?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks. I just think that he could be recruiting more energy. And when Trump comes up and is larger than life and is really, I think, using every single cell in his body, then of course it's going to be almost intimidating. I think this guy has a lot more energy at his disposal than he's using. So it would make sense that he has TDS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Is it is it kind of like it's like an inferiority complex type of thing? Like he knows, and I don't exactly mean it in like the most whatever proper way that you can mean inferiority complex, but he on a subconscious level knows that he could be giving more, and Trump is like the guy that gives everything all the time. And so he's fighting against that in some respect. Does that make sense?
I think that does make sense. I think it's just one of those like energy things. I think that Trump's energy and his energy are complete opposites, whereas this guy's energy is more inverted and Trump's is more overted or outwardly expressive. So I think that when you have that dichotomy with somebody, it's almost like your unlived self. You know what I mean? It's almost like I think that Trump. I would think with this guy, like it really creates a pain in his brain, like in the sense of like I don't know how people allow this guy. I can't believe that he's allowed to do this. How is he possible? Like I can totally understand him being very flabbergasted by Trump, because I think they use their energy in completely different ways, and they could actually benefit a lot from each other. I think, not that they'll be in the same room, but they would balance each other really well.
You know what I thought of when you said he was like inverted? This is awful, and I'm gonna acknowledge that this is awful. What I'm about to say. I thought of how like women's sex organs are on the inside of their body and men's sex organs are on the outside of their body, and he's like the woman and Trump is like the man.
I mean, I wasn't looking at it that way, but I see what you're saying.
No, you were, but I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think that these two people, I think they would be very actually helpful to each other, because I think Trump.
Well, men and women go together, Joshua. It's a harmony. It is a harmony.
It is a harmony. Yeah, I think that's why, and I think that yeah. I mean, who could blame him for seeing Trump as? I would think that he sees
as Daddy Trump.
He seems, I would guess, and I don't know him from a can of paint, but I would say that Trump like flabbergasts him, like just like I think that he actually has a visceral reaction to Trump because their energies are so completely different. But we need that, right? We need like all these different like flowers all over the world. Yeah. Can you tell the signs of Aquarius? Oh, can't we just get along? Can't we all just be friends? She's my sister. He's my brother.
Did we just start playing Age of Aquarius in the background right now? Are you having a moment?
But we would get demonetized.
We would get demonetized. We're not allowed to do that. All right, guys, welcome to Nothing Remotely Controversial, where we really haven't said anything controversial yet, Joshua. I don't know how our show got its name. This is a show that Joshua and I do every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m., where I talk about really anything I find interesting and sometimes surprise Joshua with really inappropriate references, just because I like to see him squirm. And Joshua, who is a professional psychic, uses his psychic powers and tarot card and astrology to peer beneath the surface and look at what's really going on. And Joshua, we have a ton of super chats already. We do. And people have some burning questions. Obviously, today is the end of an era. Today is the last full day of the Trump presidency. Biden will be inaugurated tomorrow. I'm very sad about this. I think a lot of people are sad about this. And they have some questions. Should we just dig into the super chats and see where they take us?
Let's dig in.
All right. Now, the first one, oh, hang on. Quantum Football asks, sorry, hang on. I'm not even drunk, I swear. Quantum Football says, will the USA have more than 50, less than 50, or exactly 50 states at 9:30 Eastern time on Tuesday? That's the oddest super chat ever. I'm going to say exactly 50 because we do have 50 states right this second.
Right. So can we just ask, is anything going to change with...
No, I don't know. I don't understand. Quantum Football, can you provide some context for me in the chat? Because I don't understand why you're asking about that. Because it is 9:30 Eastern time on Tuesday, and we currently have 50 states. So I don't know. Did I miss something? I don't understand what's going on. All right. The next one I want to jump to, and this is actually something that we were talking about. Guys, I got to tell you, before I ask the super chat, I want to give some context. Joshua popped into the StreamYard when we were off air, and he's like, Carlin, I do not have a good feeling about tomorrow. And I said, don't tell me anything. We're going to do this on the show. And so Cindy wants to know, will there be chaos in DC tomorrow?
So astrologically, I mean, everything is just so keyed up. It's ridiculous. I think that Nancy Reagan came back from the dead, or somebody channeled her to determine this date. It is so keyed up. Few things are going on. One, you have Mars that is going to be on top of Uranus. So Mars and Uranus are very explosive, and it's like a slow burn though. So we also have the moon will be at 29, the like very, very late degree of Aries that's very explosive at the time of the inauguration. So the good news is that all of this in Washington, the Mars and Uranus conjunction at 12 p.m. on Wednesday. It starts at the 12th house, which is nice. Because that puts things sort of like behind the scenes. They're not like up front. So that does make me feel better that there wouldn't be much chaos. But I would be surprised if people don't misbehave in some capacity. I think it's good. Are you
No.
Oh, sorry, you look frozen to me.
Oh, I'm not frozen.
Frozen like that Madonna song. Yeah, my feeling is that it's good that they got all those like armed guards and stuff and whatnot, because this is very explosive stuff. Uranus and Mars can be extremely explosive, and they're literally like conjunct, exact. And then you have the moon right at 29 degrees Aries, the very last degree of Aries. So, and that's very explosive. But I would say that if anything happened, and again, I think that because guards are there, they're planning for it, but it's probably something that was planned. It's not going to be like, let's revolt. Like, it'll probably be something, because again, we're dealing with Taurus energy. Like, Taurus isn't just going to be, you know what I mean? They're not going to do anything that's,
well, it's funny that you say that, because there's a lot of information coming out now that basically says that what happened at the Capitol was planned. Trump didn't incite anything; it was planned, so that makes sense. So I guess maybe can we look at the tarot cards for tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do that. I wanted to talk to you with the astrology. Just I think that's really, really important. Just fascinating, like all this stuff happening tomorrow. But do me a favor and just pose the question, and we'll see what cards we get.
Will there be chaos in DC tomorrow?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will there be chaos in DC tomorrow? Science, the Fool, the Hanged Man. Wow. So the Fool comes up, expect the unexpected. And then with the Hangman, this is like inertia, things being sort of like stopped short or circumvented. Yeah, I think that things might be on hold. Let me just do another draw on that. I'm just really curious. The Fool card is just, it's so very Aquarius. Like, things are a little bit up in the air right now. But let's see. And tell me when to stop shuffling again on that. Will there be chaos tomorrow in DC?
Stop.
Will there be chaos tomorrow in DC? Completion, Valor, Queen of Cups. I think that I don't. According to these cards, it looks like something will be circumvented. Like, it will not happen tomorrow, most likely, probably because they have all the armed guards. There will be, people taking stands, but it's in a much more like emotional way. Again, they're being, with the Hanged Man, I think that, plans may have been in effect, but they were reversed.
Subverted. Excellent.
Yeah,
That's
you'll
probably
hear from a lot of important people, though. You'll hear a lot of people like acting out.
Well,
vocally is what I get.
We'll see. Hang on to your hats. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it, to be honest. I just don't care. They've put hundreds of thousands of flags on the National Mall because people can't actually be there. And here's a question I have, because I heard today, so they have like 30,000 troops in DC right now. That's more troops that we have in Iraq and Afghanistan combined, right? But then there came out news today that like 8,200 of them or something like that, I'm forgetting the exact number, are going to stay. So DC is basically going to continue to be militarized. And the mayor of DC has come out and said, well, this is our new normal. So can we pull cards on this? Like, will DC continue to be militarized?
Let's see. And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will DC continue to be militarized? Prince of Wands, futility, truce. Yeah, I mean, they're preparing for the worst, is my feeling. And even if it doesn't look like it is, it will be.
This is crazy. I really feel like the Democrats have spun themselves up to a point where they've created this, like, and there might really be a threat, and I'm not discounting that, but I'm sorry, like 30,000 troops, dude. I ran the Boston Marathon the year after the Boston Marathon bombing when they had like the highest security ever. They didn't have nearly that much security. Like, it wasn't even that big of a deal. So do I feel like they really need that forever? That's just ridiculous. I feel like
I don't think it'll. Yeah, like I think that it will be behind. It will be more behind the scenes, like undercover. A lot of undercover people, a lot of plants, a lot of moles, a lot of spies, a lot of they're making sure that bases are secure. But I will say this, that they're not going to have the ability to talk as much as freely as they normally did, because I think there's going to be a lot more like devices to sort of spy and to, you know, for their protection.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because they've actually been vetting all of the troops to find out which ones are Trump supporters, to keep them away from Biden, because they're scared of Trump supporters.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. This time we live in, it's nuts. All right, let's look at a little bit of a different question, and I'm kind of glad that the wacky Q lady that was in the chat left before we got to this, because I didn't want to egg her on at all. Nico L wants to know, Lynn Wood says Jeffrey Epstein is alive. Is that true?
Oh, Lynn.
You really like Jeffrey Epstein questions too, Joshua. You get creeped out every time someone asks you a Jeffrey Epstein question.
I mean, the whole thing is just, I think, yeah, the energy is just obviously a little, I don't know. It's hyperventilating, the energy. Don't you find that? Like, it's like very, very icky and.
Yeah, I agree. It's like heavy.
It's just gross. But is he alive, right?
Yes, is Jeffrey Epstein alive?
And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
I feel he's dead. He feels dead as a doornail to me.
Mm-hmm.
Prince of Wands, the Star, the Hangman. I don't think so. I think he's gone.
Yeah, I don't think he's alive. Lynn Wood is a nutcase.
Dead.
And guys, just so you know, actually, I think it was Joshua on our first episode ever, way, way back when. I think you actually psychicked, did Epstein kill himself? And the answer was no, he decidedly did not kill himself, according to your psychic reading back then. So you guys can go back and find Joshua's original psychic tree on this question.
I think it was like Clue. There were so many people that had a motive. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I really feel that like he had like a long list, national and international. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Okay, we've got a gun question from Brandon. Brandon wants to know, yes, that type of gun. Exactly. Someone asked in the chat earlier, they asked if I had a gun, and you're goddamn right, I have a gun. I actually just talked to Victor about going to get another gun the other day. Anyway, will gun ownership...
We should all go to target practice.
We should. Have you done that before?
Of course.
See, I haven't. I've never done it before.
Oh,
Victor's been doing all that stuff.
You have to.
All right. Well, we'll go and shoot a gun sometime.
What's our question?
Will 2A gun ownership be outlawed by Biden in his first term?
2A?
Second Amendment.
Will it be outlawed by Biden?
Yeah, will gun ownership be outlawed by Biden in his first term?
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
The Magician, Nine of Swords, Ace of Swords. I think there's gonna, I wouldn't say outlawed. I think there's gonna be some adjustments made to the rules.
Well, we're gonna go get an AR-15. We're circumventing it immediately. And I really did just talk to Victor about that the other day. He was very excited. All right. Armani V says, will there be an attempt towards Biden's life tomorrow? I really hope not. Will there be an assassination attempt, Joshua?
God forbid.
I'm going to get demonetized for this question, and then I'm going to have to point out to YouTube that they're demonetizing a psychic.
For entertainment purposes only.
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
So will there be an attempt tomorrow?
Yes.
Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
The Devil, Oppression, the Moon.
You gotta love it when Joshua does not give a definitive answer immediately.
I mean, I think there's some crazies out there. I can't see how they could possibly. I don't think how they could possibly get away with it. Even like the attempt. But think of it: the Devil. Then you have Oppression, which is 10 of Wands. That's a lot of fire. And then you have the Moon, which is about like confusion. I mean, my feeling is if it would be somebody who's like suicidal. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I would think so.
Yeah.
God,
I think that
no. There. No.
Sorry.
Please no attempt on Biden's life.
Yeah, my feeling is there are some people that are absolutely insane, but I don't know how far they'll get. You know what I mean? I know that I believe that with these cards that are showing, there are definitely some people that would like to do that, but I don't think that they'll have a shot in hell. I mean,
if some Q person does this, I will blame all Q people ever, because this is just ridiculous. The Q people are out of goddamn control.
Well, with these cards, think of the Devil, 10 of Wands, and the Moon. Like, that's just craziness. This is just people whose minds are just, there's like a lot of psychic pressure. Yeah, so it's dumb. It's dumb.
My God. All right, let's see. Rudy Garaby says, sit back, grab some popcorn. The best is yet to come. Joshua, what do you think Trump is going to do after the White House? Can we psychic that? Like, what is Trump's next thing? I think that is a very good question that I would like to know the answer to. It might be a little bit happier than will Biden be assassinated?
What will Trump do after tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, plans for Trump for the future, right?
Yes.
And tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
So the Sun card comes up. You know, this is like the entertainer of the zodiac, right? Leo. So it's about creating this, like, I think, a new beginning for the world. Just logically, I do think that it's going to have something to do with media. You know, that's like the new beginning that everybody wants, that would make him like the hero, right?
Yes.
It would be about creating his own platform or his own network or something along those lines. He's being trepidatious, so I don't think he's going to roll out something straight away. But whatever he does, there's going to be a lot of competition for it. That's why I'm getting it being about media. And I also think that with the Sun card, I'd be very surprised if he didn't do something entertainment related. Not necessarily, what was that show that he was on? Not necessarily The Apprentice, but there's definitely lots of lights, right, with the Sun card. So
I want him to buy CNN and change it to Trump News Network.
I would not. I mean, if Ted Turner could do it, why wouldn't Trump?
That would be amazing.
Prize for a while, even before the presidency, I would think. Do you know what I mean?
That would be amazing. I just want to point out that Melissa Scott said the cards just showed what his administration would do. I think she's referencing the Biden gun banning thing, I guess. The other thing I want to point out is we got some crazy Q. Like, there's always Q people around. They're always around, Joshua. Ricky Baker says, you call Q people crazy, yet you believe in psychics. LMAO, talk about confused. I want to point out that Joshua has a track record of being resoundingly more accurate than Q. That's on.
I don't know who Q is. I know Avenue Q. Is this the same thing?
No, it is not remote. You don't want to know what Q is, John. I will explain it to you off the air. It's crazy.
I don't follow along. I get all of my news from Carlin. It's like the Carlin Network.
The Carlin News Network. That's what I should have named my YouTube channel. Carlin News Network. I got to start another YouTube channel, a second channel, KNN. That's not the worst idea I've ever had.
I like the ring to it. Yeah. KNN?
KNN, Carlin News Network.
Ooh, I like it. The KNN.
Yeah, I might do that. Maybe you could have your own show. You can. Okay. Yes.
All right, I'm holding you to it.
Obviously.
You guys all heard it.
And eventually you'll have to start your own channel called JNN.
Ooh.
We can both start our own news channel, Joshua.
Wow.
Except that you don't even care about the news.
I know. What would I report? I'd be like, oh, the moon's in Aries today.
All right, let's see. Thomas Bennett wants to know, will the Democrats succeed in adding justices to the Supreme Court now that they control the Senate and the White House? So what this is talking about, Joshua, is the Democrats have already threatened to pack the Supreme Court, which essentially means they don't like the makeup of the current court. They don't like that it has 6 conservative justices and 3 more liberal justices. And really, John Roberts isn't really conservative, so whatever. But they would add more justices to the Supreme Court to have more liberal justices. Will the Democrats pack the Supreme Court?
Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will the Democrats pack the Supreme Court? The world, Princess of Swords, swiftness. I think they're going to try. I think with Princess of Swords, Princess of Swords is like that teenager in school who sees how much she can exactly get away with by the teacher. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to talk. I'm going to make noises during class. I'm going to see how much I can push you. It's a very Gemini type energy. Let's see how much I can get away with before my hand is slapped. So yeah, my feeling is they're going to try to, but I think I feel like there's some kind of laws that would stop that from happening.
Oh no, there aren't. They could. But...
How can they get away with it then?
I mean, they've changed the makeup of the courts before. It wasn't always 9 justices. They've added, so they would rationalize it that way. They would say, well, it wasn't always 9 justices. It's only been 9 justices for the last 150 years. But if they added justices at one point, we can do it now.
Yeah, and also with the swiftness card, I think things will be happening fast. Almost let's do things really quick. Maybe you won't notice that, I had a party when mom was away. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it sounds like something will stop them though and get in the way.
It seems that way. Yeah.
Well, that's good because that would be the downfall of the Republic if they got away with that. It really would be. It would create an arms race for the Supreme Court. So next time a Republican gets in, they'd pack the court, and then the next time Democrat, and it would be we'd have 150 people on the goddamn Supreme Court before you know it. Dragonwater says Joshua should start the Joshua Psychic Network.
I think that would be great.
You could be like Miss Cleo, Joshua.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Would you wear a turban? I think if you do that, you need to wear a turban.
Yeah, because I get done everything that I say I'm going to do. I'll put it on my list. That is what I'm going wrong. I do that. I don't know what. Well, I know why. It's an aspect in my chart. I'll put 10 things down on my list and I'll get to 2, but they'll be done well.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
All right.
What's next?
Let's see. Alexander DeJohn says, "Will Biden shut the pipeline between us and Canada? Will they shut down the Keystone XL pipeline between us and Canada?" So here is the deal. Trump basically I don't know all the intricacies, but this Keystone thing is actually going to be a problem. Biden wants to shut it down on day one. Now, Canada would be pissed if this got shut down, and we would also lose a metric F ton of jobs if Biden decided to shut this down. But he's already saying he's going to do it on day one. So will Biden shut down the Keystone XL pipeline?
The Keystone what?
XL pipeline.
Someone stop shuffling.
Stop.
Shut it down. Princess of Discs, Princess of Cups, Queen of Cups. I mean, water. There's so much water here, and water flows. I mean, I would be surprised. I think that they're going to reach some kind of like treaty or some kind of like deal. And with the two water cards, I mean, you understand why I would say this. I mean, water goes everywhere. Water doesn't have like boundaries. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Alexander DeJohn also says Josh could do his channel in drag, and he would teach you how to do the makeup, Joshua. What an offer!
Cool. That's super cool. Because I if I could look prettier as a girl, I might do that. But I'm actually an ugly bitch.
And Dragon Water says it's really weird sharing a first name with Joshua.
What?
Oh, Dragon Water said,
Colin, come back. Come back.
I'm here. You're not here.
Why can't I see
here. I don't know. You froze.
You froze.
Okay, you're back now. Okay, we're back. We're both back. Dragon Water says it's really weird sharing a first name with Joshua.
There are worse first names to share. All right, Lucifer, Damien.
Damien is a great first name. What are you talking about? I love that name. If I had a kid, I would name it Damien, probably.
Really? I would try to talk you out of that. No offense to Damien. Haven't you seen The Exorcist or The Omen?
I love The Omen. The Omen's great.
Why would you do that? It's like naming your dog Mars. Do you
It's
really
a cool name. We're allowed to have differences of opinions, Joshua.
Fine.
You're not Joshua, you're not the boss of me.
You're not
all right. Goat Art Bazaar says, will Representative Marjorie Greene run for president? That's a good question. Marjorie.
Okay, will she run for who is she?
She's a representative that's like a MAGA person. She's a Trump person. She's going to try to impeach Biden on day one, which I think is stupid, but I like her spunk.
So you want to know if she's going to run for president?
Yes.
Okay. Marjorie. Will Marjorie run for president?
Yes.
Marjorie run for president. And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Marjorie, butter. I don't think so. She shouldn't. And that doesn't end well with Three of Swords.
I don't think it would end well at all.
I mean, the Sun card and the Virtue card, like, you know what? You're on a road. Stay in this road. You're doing great. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
I agree. I think that'd be a dumb idea. She should stay where she is. And I like her. I think she's got spunk. I think the impeaching Biden thing is stupid, but because it's not going to go anywhere. But she's entertaining at least. Dragonwater said, I never said it was bad, just weird. Personal, I would change my name to Lucifer just to piss Christians off.
Oh, good. Oh, Lucifer is bringer of light. It actually is like a really, really nice name if you think about it. Lucifer, light bringer. Yeah.
All right. Andrea Lewinsky says, I'm seeing even more progressive activists move to the center. Is this going to be a continuing trend?
Okay, so that means like social justice warriors are becoming more.
They're becoming less crazy. Is essentially they're seeing people de insane and come to the center where I am.
Okay, so who's it we're asking about again?
Just progressive activists in general.
Will in general they become more centered?
Yes.
And tell me when I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
The Devil, Queen of Cups, Nine of Discs. No, I think I don't get that. I get there being like a trend of groundedness and whatnot. Like the people who believe what they believe, they're probably going to dig their heels in. I don't get there being like this big wave or of
good. They're going to be even more insane, is what you're saying.
Well, I do think that what will happen is that they will be more put at ease with the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Discs. I think we got to remember that. I think that what we got to talk about this at some point, but I think the Trump derangement syndrome, I do think that if you think about it, it's really fascinating that it really does like trigger people in terms of emotional trauma. And I think that with these cards, it's more a matter of like, okay, we're safe, because they could beat up Biden. I don't know, and protect themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some kind of, the reaction to Trump has got to pertain to emotional trauma. It has to. Just doesn't make any sense otherwise. Do you know what I mean? Like he does something. I think it's probably actually might be mental trauma because Uranus and his moon, how Trump acts emotionally is very Uranian. So, but I think that Biden is more, I don't want to say debilitated, but I think that he's less of a threat energetically to a lot of the people out there that may have been triggered on a regular basis by Trump.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I definitely think Biden is significantly less threatening. If for no other reason, then I don't think he's all there mentally. But,
Yeah, and I think that Biden is, Biden's going to do things more behind the scenes, and Trump is going to be a little bit more like the locker room talk type thing, as opposed to, oh, I don't even want to mention Tara Reid. Can we?
No.
Loud, right? God forbid, right? Crazy. Don't get me started. I'm telling you, we need the KNN so we can talk whatever we want.
KNN. Well, I'll put that on the list of things I need to do, Joshua. All right, everyone. I just want to warn you, we have a bunch of super chats, and we definitely really appreciate the support. We're going to try to get through as many as we can. And you know what? Everyone's been asking this one. Like several people have already super chatted it in, so we should just take it on. Will Trump pardon Julian Assange?
Who the hell is he?
Well, WikiLeaks. Okay.
Really? Let him off the hook.
Julian Assange is basically like he's a journalist that has been in prison for like a really like has been like put upon for a very, very, very long time because he's released. He didn't get access to the information himself, but he basically released state secrets. I guess I'm not even sure exactly what he did. But a lot of people like Julian Assange is like one of basically the biggest icons of free speech that there is. And Trump has an opportunity to pardon him for another couple of hours anyway. And it looked like he was going to, and now it looks like he's not going to because Mitch McConnell apparently sent word that if Trump dares pardon Julian Assange, then they're more likely to convict him in his impeachment trial that they're going to hold illegally after he leaves office. So I think Trump should just do it. But let's look at what the cards say.
And just pose the question, will Trump pardon?
Will Trump pardon Julian Assange?
Tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Three of Cups, the Moon, and Two of Swords. So, yeah, I think that he's getting a lot of different, signals. I think Trump's in a standoff, so I would be surprised if he did. But I think that what Trump does, Trump is very smart, what I'm getting, and you might be able to corroborate this, but he doesn't say no when he has somebody that he wants to sort of please or be friendly with. It's more of like well, we can't do this, but I'll tell you what we're going to do. Do you know what I mean? It's really interesting. Like, I get that feeling from him. Like, he's a salesman. I mean, there's a terrific amount of charisma that he has, that he knows how to. Yeah, but for whatever reason, there's people that are on this guy's side that Trump is not in bed with necessarily, but wants to maintain good relations with. So it's sort of like I keep getting, I'll tell you what I can do. I can't do this, but I'll tell you what I can do. I keep getting that type energy.
So you think, no, what's that?
But with the moon, things are just shifting. But as things stand right now, he's in this like rock and a hard place. And if it comes between pardoning him or not, then I would guess no, just because there's so much fluctuation.
Yeah, that's essentially what people have been saying. Like, it's been back and forth, and Trump's been getting bad advice, and then people have really been going to the bat for Julian Assange in the last day. So we're going to see. I think Trump should do it. I think it's a huge missed opportunity if he doesn't, if for no other reason than to give one final middle finger to the establishment. I also want to point out Salt Mine Boss says, ha ha ha, I love the fact that he doesn't know about Assange. That means he's happier than most of us. And the reason I wanted to show that is because sometimes, Joshua, people don't believe me when I say that he doesn't watch the news or know anything about it. They're like, Joshua is showing his liberal bias. I'm like, Joshua doesn't know what the fuck he's even psychicking.
And I am. I'll tell you, I was getting so upset, and I have part of my job description is to be as happy as possible. Like, I have to. So yeah, I can't. I let Carlin tell me all the news. She tells me all the gory, gruesome details. Yeah.
I give Joshua a fair and balanced view of the news with both sides properly represented. All right, let's see. I want to make sure we're getting some good questions here. Joanne Clinton says, will there be a national lockdown under the Biden administration?
What we're in right now is not a national lockdown, though, right?
No. You are in Los Angeles. That's why you feel locked down.
A national lockdown under the Biden administration.
Yep.
Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, Judgment. I mean, I think that if it calls for it, but I don't think it'll be COVID related.
Oh, good. I don't know that that's actually better, Joshua.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I mean, there's a lot of fire here. Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, Judgment. I mean, I don't think it's beyond him. But again, I think that there's nothing right now. Like, it's this fiery energy. I don't think there's anything right now that would make that happen. But I don't think it's beyond him. Like, I could see him doing it.
I could absolutely. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I would be surprised. Like, people are thinking that COVID is just going to clear up as soon as he gets inaugurated. I don't. I think that they like the control that this gives them. And I think it's going to go on for a long, long time.
It'll be interesting.
We'll see. All right.
I don't know how with all these vaxes that we have now.
Well, Joshua, even after you get the vaccine, you still have to wear a mask and socially distance.
No. Yeah. For how long?
For as long as they say. They make it up as they go.
Oh my God. I'm so over it.
Yeah, dude, me too. When we were psychicking that question, I actually physically felt like I was being masked, which to me is like a muzzle. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, Thomas Bennett asked a different type of question. He wants to know, will Parler win their lawsuit against Amazon Web Services? That's a good question.
That's a really good question. Will Parler... Who are they fighting again?
Amazon Web Services.
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
There's more than one, isn't there?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Because, okay, we got Princess of Cups. So this is sort of like the, sort of kissing away hostilities, mending things. Then you have the Princess of Wands, and I get this having to do with the rules that were set up in the very beginning. It's almost like, you want to play here, these are the rules. But your final card is Seven of Cups, so this is yet to be determined. I think that it might be a matter of like either it's a mistrial or I don't think it can be a mistrial. It's not a criminal case. But this is about sort of things being like up in the air, leading on to new things. So I think that there's going to be some kind of change. I wouldn't say this is not victory, but I think there's going to be progress.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's good. I just want Parlor to come back. And I hope they're using it as an opportunity to get better than they were, because they kind of sucked.
Oh, you know what it is? Options. Seven of Cups is options. So couldn't they just do something outside of Amazon?
Well, they could. They're trying to, and I think that they're trying that. But also, Amazon cost them a metric F ton of money and users when they just completely took their site offline. And so I would really like to see them win a lawsuit because they breached their contract.
I mean, they didn't. There wasn't. Okay. That's
Amazon just took them down with 30 hours notice. In their contract, they had 30 days notice.
Right, but with the caveats of you must not do this, you must not do that. I'm sure that Amazon's lawyers draft contracts better than Parler. No offense to Parler.
We'll see. We'll see. Multi-Drider wants to know, will more people become red-pilled as a result of Biden, and will we have a series of red waves? So I guess maybe the best way to ask this question is, I want to know, will the Republicans win back the House in 2022?
Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Queen of Discs, Knight of Swords, Power. I think so. I think that it looks good.
Yay.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a lot of activity around then. Definitely.
All right. And Amy asks a question that goes kind of along with that. She wants to know, will the moderate Democrats stand up against the radical left?
Let's see. Like as in a wave, right?
Yeah.
Will the moderate Democrats
stand up against the radical left?
Come on, stop shuffling.
Stop.
The Moon, Prince of Swords, High Priestess. These are very passive cards. I think it's more a matter of like, they're not like the enemy. You got to pick your battles. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
I don't see that happening. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We have 7 minutes left, Joshua. I want to get through all these super chats. Dragon Water says, is America about to become an authoritarian dictatorship? Way to look on the bright side, Dragon Water.
I mean, I doubt it, but let's see.
I doubt it too, but let's see.
What's it called again? What did he call it?
An authoritarian dictatorship.
Someone stop shuffling.
Stop.
No. If anything, again, with the Magician card, you gotta remember Jupiter and Saturn are in Aquarius, and we're all like in this mode of like redefining our values, especially this week, actually. So I think with all that Aquarius energy, if anything, we're going to be just determining that we value freedom more and demanding it more. So you're going to see a lot of people doing whatever the hell they want to do, or else.
Excellent. Okay, Quantum Football provided a clarification for their earlier super chat. They said I was saying 50 states by Tuesday of next week. Oh, so they want to know if any state is going to secede from the union in the next week. And this actually goes along with a question that Catherine asks. So Catherine wants to know, will Texas secede from the union?
Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Devout, pleasure, magician. I mean, honestly, I feel like that in doing that, they would be without a certain degree of protection that they would need or would want. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that disconnecting from the U.S. is, I mean, it's ballsy, but I think that if you really think about it, it's not very intelligent.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I do think, though, that, I mean, based on how the Democrats are vetting the National Guard to make sure that they don't hold inconvenient political leanings, like, if there were states that were going to succeed, I mean, let's like just be honest. The Republicans are going to get the military. So if any states secede, I'm going to go live in the state with the most Republicans because they're going to get the military. And that would not be California, Joshua. You would be in the People's Republic of California with no military and no money. And you'd have to move to Florida.
That'd be terrible.
All right, Melissa Scott wants to know, will Jim Comey ever be brought to justice?
Comey, is this the guy who...
FBI director, former FBI director.
Will he ever be brought to justice? Jim Comey?
Jim Comey.
Ooh. Will Jim Comey ever be brought to justice? And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Hangman, 9 of discs, death. I think they're going to try to. I don't think that things are going to be super easy for him necessarily with the Hangman. Yeah, I wouldn't. I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff here with the Hangman. Like, things are right now in like this inertia state. But with the death card, I think something in the future maybe, but nothing straight away.
All right, fair enough. All right, we got a couple more super chats. Dragonwater says COVID will not go away until people rise up and unequivocally scream no. I mean, we'll see. No! TL08 Tube says, will Biden last his entire 4-year term?
Let's just get him past tomorrow first.
We will settle for not assassinated.
Will Biden survive the 4 years, right?
Yep.
Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
High Priestess, Victory, Knight of Discs. Well, by George. Yeah, I think that it's looking good right now.
Good.
Yeah.
Biden needs to power through. Biden's wanted to be president forever. He needs to power through this 4 years. I cannot take Kamala Harris as president, Joshua. I can't do it.
No, I think...
would move. Victor and I had a serious conversation last night about moving to Mexico. I'm not even joking about that.
Well, I hear they have great tequila.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, continue. What were you going to say?
No, I think this looks good. I honestly think that he shifted realities, Biden. He is not the same energy that he was when he first went into this election. Do you know what I'm saying?
In a good way or a bad way?
Oh, good for our country, yeah. I think that before he was a shell of a human being, and it was ridiculous. I think he shifted into a parallel reality in which he actually is copacetic and actually can think a little bit better than he had been. Like, haven't you seen his speeches? Like, I haven't seen anything, but isn't he a little bit more? Doesn't he give you a little bit more confidence than he did originally, or no?
No, not really, but I'm hopeful that he will actually make it through the 4 years. I really am. I genuinely mean that. I want Biden to make it. I cannot take Kamala Harris as president.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry.
I can't. I would literally move to Mexico if that happened, and I'm not even joking. I would shack up on a beach somewhere. I would get some margaritas and some tacos, and I'd be fine. I'd be fine.
Burritos.
All the different Mexican food. Nachos, all of them. All right, we're going to do one more question super, super quick because Fran asked a good one. She asked, will there be major changes in election laws in contested states to prevent election mess in the future?
New election laws?
Yeah, will there be major changes to election laws to take care of election shenanigans?
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Absolutely.
Yay!
The fool, fear of defeat, but again, if people want to cheat, they're going to cheat.
Well, thank you for ending us on a high note, Joshua. I appreciate the optimism.
I'm sorry.
You're like, people can do whatever they put their mind to. If they want to cheat, they're going to figure out a way to cheat.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Oh, great. All right, guys, that is all we have for this week. Thank you for hanging out with us. Joshua, do you have any closing thoughts or messages as we embark on this new era of Biden?
Well, not really Biden, but astrologically, we're in this, by Sunday, something's going to break tomorrow. There's going to be some kind of pop. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be with the election. It could be less us internally, but we're going through a huge value shift. So by the time this weekend ends, you want to really check in with yourself and be like, okay, well, at one point I really was valuing these things, and now what do I value now? So you want to really check in, because an object in motion, staying in motion. So you might be pursuing or being true to those values that no longer hold true to you. So just keep that in mind for the rest of your week.
All right. Thank you for that. And guys, if you want to get in touch with Joshua and have a reading of your very own with questions that you get to ask about your life, not the world. Do you want to do the thing again?
Yeah.
You're good? I was unprepared. This is a two thing type of night. Two in the same episode. Guys, you can find Joshua's contact information in the description below. He is at Psychic Sun, SUN, like the sun.com, and you can get in touch with him, get a reading, all that good stuff. He's okay at what he does, I guess. Thank you guys for spending some time with us. We will be back next Tuesday, same time, same place, and we hope to see you then. Have a good one, guys. Bye.